Today is February 26, 2023. Um, got a lot better. There's still a few stragglers, but it's got a lot better. When they're realizing these people are just basically cannibals. They think they're entitled with it. They're so self-absorbed. They think they're so entitled that they are so much better than everybody else, that they are above the law. And there's no law for them because they're entitled. Scary, isn't it? That they can set somebody up, frame them, drug them, break in their house, violate them with drugs, Photoshop scenes, start a hate crime because they're entitled to set it up so they can steal from a witness protection program. They're that entitled. And that they can take that money and pay for people's gas money to drive around to grab children and sell them into human trafficking, women, little boys, little girls. That they can sell them into human trafficking and take that money and then make more money feeding off their dead carcasses. Because they're cannibals. They can have a woman raped, tortured, take videos of it, sell it, make money off of it, have them make fun of her so that they get more money and sell terrorism because they're entitled. They're cannibals. They feed off of the hurt, the injured, the raped, tortured. To them, we are just cattle. We're not human beings, because if we were human beings, this would be wrong. With hopes, dreams, love, families. Because if we were human, this would be horrifying, wouldn't it? But these people are so self-absorbed. They don't have human feelings. They are so entitled within themselves that they have made themselves like gods. They become so insane. You know, my one friend that used to work at the prosecutor's office said the police in this area are so corrupt that they take payoffs and let people that are supposed to be protected hurt. I said, no, they don't. I don't believe that. He said a couple of them got fired. Or they got a choice of resigning or they get prosecuted. They should have got prosecuted regardless. They let somebody get hurt. It's abuse and misconduct. They should have put them in jail. But they didn't want the stigma in this area that they were letting it happen. So they let them resign. You know, with Will being from Stark County FBI Task Force, those older guys that were my main officers were those the dirty Canton police that were taking bails. Makes you wonder. See, I couldn't figure out why Stark County even called me. I lived in Portage County. I'd been up there for 4 months. When I called the hotline, you know who I thought called me? Cleveland. Because I saw up north. I lived in Portage County. Summit County is actually over Portage County. That's Stark. It wasn't even their jurisdiction. He pulled it off the hotline because Dave was dating his daughter. And he was getting ready to set up this big scam, just like the judge in Florida that did the human trafficking. He had over 100 people involved, pimps, drug dealers, to grab those poor people and to sell them. They used my case as a scam to lure people here so they could pick out which ones they wanted to grab and sell. And while they embezzled over $300,000 from the witness protection program, and every month I'm alive, they get my $5,000 a month, my living expenses, my housing expenses, and my medical card. That's why they left me alive. And it makes you wonder, the officers that were assigned to my protected custody case, where the Canton police seen them. Lamar Sharp, Amar, Michael Broswell, and the other Michael at CSC Bank. I watched him walk out of the back of the bank, okay? They were also at Liberty House here on Hills and Dales Road. Told the North Canton Jackson police the worst thing you ever did wrong, honey, is bend over and probably we can wipe that one out. They told everybody I was innocent. Walmart security on 62 seen them. They were around me and they were telling everybody that I had diplomatic immunity and that the agent gave it to me because he knew I wouldn't abuse it. I have one traffic ticket from 89. Think about that. Let me see. Who else seen them? Stark County Sheriffs. They were at the family. They were everywhere. See, all these officers and Massillon Police know about them. See, that agent to steal that money had to open up that case. And then people run around acting stupid in this area. And then one guy I was talking to that knew a drug dealer, well, he also was friends with somebody on his police department in his area. They knew of this case. He had been talking to him about it. And they also knew about the people that were involved in Texas from here, the Kingsman Group. I said, you knew about the Kingsman Group? Told you, he knew so much about the case. It was odd. Being able to talk to somebody, or talk to somebody, and then how the agent owed those drug dealers money, and he let him hurt me, till he came up with enough money to pay him off, and then took up enough money for a drug shipment, and then when he, that's where he got that out of the drug dealers. Well, he also has a friend on the police department. Went and talked to him about my case. And he knew about the Texas people. The Kingsman Group, the big 350-pound man, long, black, curly hair, white. And called me a dumbass, an idiot, show up and mock me, made sure that they knew that I knew he worked for Walt and his family. I told you that Jeep stung in the park, that one guy. Or when the race cars showed up, all those guys running out of this, and then all the apostolic people running down looking at me, and we're just supposed to be talking about my getting my small little settlement from my divorce, and some guy sitting behind me mocking me, and a little cute couple's trying to have Bible study in the middle of the chaos, and I already told this guy I wasn't interested in him, and he's supposed to be giving me ideas about how to get my my settlement money. Walks me in the car and then gives me a hug and a peck. It's like, ew, I'm not interested in you. My ex-husband beat me. He's like, oh, I've had hot friends before. But before that, he told me he was a Kingsman. I said, what's a Kingsman? He's like, a religious group from Texas, where they've been running around saying they were part of it. He was from Florida, too. The Gentleman's Club from Florida. Do you know, I worked at Berry Cheese July to September 19. Some of those idiots got in the back. And they walked out saying stuff. Just saying. They were everywhere. Makes you wonder. With that older guy saying, Karen mentioned something about those people moving out yesterday. Yesterday when I mentioned it, he said, I went to walk in the park yesterday in the afternoon. He's like, Karen mentioned something about those people moving out. I went over and talked to him. They said no one's to say anything. The only thing that's going on is they're stealing from that one guy stealing from the case. That's it. They've been telling everybody that since November. The agent that returned my phone call is stealing from the case. Him and his family is wrapped up in those drug dealers and human traffickers. And that retired Judge Pete, their family, is wrapped up in this craziness, causing this chaos storm around me. Someone needs to help me. And they need to help the victims they left behind and their families.